guys, welcome to my channel. If you are just starting your business, or maybe you've already started and want to learn from a person who's been doing her own business for 9 years already. Oh my god, I've been running companies since 2011. So if you want to learn about things that I shouldn't have done as an entrepreneur, continue watching this video up to the very end, and this would potentially save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mistake number one cost me $20,000. I remember this day as if it was yesterday. I was sitting at my desk in Saint Petersburg, Russia, our small office, and I was thinking about a name that we should give to our company. That name, LinguaTrip, came to my mind, and I went to some platform where you could check the availability of different websites, and I checked linguatrip.com and it was available, and I couldn't believe my luck. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. We're gonna own linguatrip.com. This is an amazing domain for a study abroad platform. So I bought that domain for like $15. We registered a company, and then in 6 months we realized that there is a company called LinguaTrip.ru in Russia, and Russia was like one of our main markets. And we realized that that company started bidding against us on Google. They started spending more money in order to outbid us and be number one. People started mixing us up with that company because I was doing a lot of media stuff. They knew my channel, and I kept saying LinguaTrip, and they would Google LinguaTrip and they would end up on our competitor's website. And we realized they were making thousands of dollars every single month because of this mistake, and we didn't register any trademarks. We didn't even think about it, because when you're just starting your business, you're thinking about how to make money fast, you're thinking about the design, you're thinking about your new employees, and we were just about to go to Silicon Valley to start our 500 startups program, and there was no time to think about the trademark. But now, whenever I start a company, the first thing I do is check whether somebody else has the company with the same name, and if nobody has the company with the same name, I register a trademark. You can do it yourself. It costs around $300 if you do this on your own using a website called USPTO. But because we hadn't done that, we ended up talking to those guys who owned LinguaTrip.ru, and they actually owned trademark in Russia. First, they wanted to sell it to us for like $100,000, and we said no, because it was cheaper for us to just change the name of the company, and we just continued living like that. And in a year, they said yes to $20,000, and we paid $20,000 to buy their trademark and to buy their domain name. So please remember, trademarks are very important. Thing number two, when I just started a business, I was a huge believer in strategy. I was thinking that, the business is gonna blow up, and I didn't really pay attention to numbers at the beginning because I thought they mean nothing. And yes, maybe they didn't mean a lot at the beginning, but the problem was when the business started growing, I was still not really attentive to details. I would launch different campaigns on Facebook, I would launch different campaigns on YouTube, and I still wouldn't know which campaign generated what, because the sales process is really long in our company. We get a lead, the sales team calls them, and then they convert in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So it's very hard to track them without having a right system in place. And when we got to like hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, we started putting that system in place, and it was really hard. And I wish I was attentive to numbers from day one, so I would start generating that system, and it wouldn't take us days and months to put something in place when we became a lot bigger. The next thing you should do when you start a business is organize everything right from the very beginning. Because again, you're gonna end up having, hopefully, you're gonna end up having tens and hundreds of people in your company, and without having specific departments, without having functionalities described in instructions, you would end up having to do that in maybe a year when you have a lot of people, and that would take a lot of your time. So right now, even if it's just you doing everything, I would sit down and create instructions for marketing, instructions for sales, instructions for, your website, anything that you can describe in words. Because later on, you're gonna hire a person and the onboarding process would be really easy because you will just give them the instruction. You will say, hey, this is the way I used to run marketing. Now it's your turn. Here's the checklist. Just continue with it. That would save you tons of money. And also, if you have a KPI for every function, like for example, the ROI in our marketing department should be not less than 50%, then you already have this metric that would help you identify whether the person is a good worker or not. So please, even if it's just you right now, have an instruction for every single thing that you do throughout the day. As you might know, I'm currently running 3 companies, and one of the companies is actually me and another person. But still, because I've learned from my previous experience, I try to document everything. I try to have a clear structure of every single business process that we have. And I'm really happy that one of the apps that I'm using, Monday.com, is actually sponsoring this video. And I'm gonna tell you what it looks like to structure everything within your business. So for example, I have my 2 YouTube courses that are run by Lingua Marina Inc., my company. And I try to plan ahead every single marketing activity that we're planning to do. Because for example, my current goal is to make $50,000 a month selling those courses, and I write down every single marketing activity that I have. I add my manager there, and she starts executing whatever I have in my mind, and we keep collaborating on how the marketing campaign is going. Is it bringing up what we're expecting, or maybe we should adjust something in our creative and our ads? So this is something I would recommend you doing as well with your business. Monday.com is a cloud-based work OS where teams create workflow apps in minutes to run their processes, projects, and everyday work. I like that Monday.com has a lot of templates that help you focus on what counts and focus on making an impact instead of, focusing on creating spreadsheets and trying to organize everything within your company. They actually suggest a structure that you should implement for anything that you're doing. Maybe it's a marketing project. Maybe it's, paying your contractors. Whatever you're doing, they have a template for it that you can adjust and add things that matter to your company. Start shaping your workflow from day one of your business. The link will be below. Monday.com is going to help you with that. I'm going to my next thought is that you need to start delegating as early as possible, because your superpower is in creating product, or maybe it's in creating content for your company, maybe it's in sales, but you don't have to do everything by yourself. And once you have those instructions, once you have everything described, you should figure out which you should delegate first. For example, you hate calling people, then you should hire somebody or pay them by hour, somebody who would do that for you. Maybe you hate ordering stuff to your office, then hire somebody. So I think for any company, the first person that they should hire is a personal assistant to you. And you just delegate whatever you don't like doing, of course, with an instruction. The next mistake that people do is that they overcomplicate things right from the very beginning. Instead of, creating a landing page and starting selling right away, testing your market, they hire developers. They say, we need at least a year to develop our booking platform. We need at least a year to come up with this product. No, this is really wrong, because in a year, everything changes. People might not need your product at all. So I would start with something really, really basic, like a landing page, like a very small product, like a checklist. I don't know, whatever you can create in a couple of weeks, start selling it. Test your marketing skills, get some money first, and only then invest in creating something bigger. And because a lot of people tend to overcomplicate things, they think that they need to raise money even before they start building a product. And investor money is expensive money, because you're actually married to those people who invest money in you, because they would want a report from you every month. They would keep asking you, when are you going to launch the product? And this is your responsibility. Imagine just taking somebody's money, and when you take them, you're not promising them per se, but you are telling them, if you guys give me $10,000, I'm gonna give you $100,000 back in a year, or in 2 years, depending on what your business model is. Do you think that you're capable of doing that? And it's always cheaper to invest your own money. There is less responsibility, there is less risk that people would be unhappy with you and that you would destroy or damage your reputation. And also, that makes you hustle harder, because the best decisions that that we've ever made with our company happened at the times of crisis and at times when we didn't have money at all. We became as creative as we could be. I started marketing through YouTube. My co-founder went to work for another company that ended up lending us money, and we ended up finding great developers for our company. We ended up coming up with different marketing strategies and creating new products that helped us make even more money. So please cherish those moments when you're down, when you have problems, when you're like, oh my God, things are going wrong, nobody's buying my product. Because in these dark moments, you have these revelations like, oh my God, I should pivot my product to this. Like right now, what's happening right now, we are like, oh my God, we should double down on online. And revenues are growing. So just appreciate life giving you those insights. And the last but not the least, a lot of people start a company and they think that they need a co-founder. Yes, sometimes you need a co-founder, especially if it's a technical startup and you can't code. And that's, and from the psychological standpoint, it's safer to have a person with you because, when you're down, they're gonna help you out. And when they're down, you're gonna help them out. But at the same time, people just rush to have a co-founder without really testing people. And again, your co-founder is somebody you're actually married to because you end up being in the same office every day because you will be together in the hardest times. And I would really ask you to test people first. Maybe try and pay them first and see how they're working, because in the perspective, it's really cheaper to have somebody as an employee or contractor instead of having them, take 10% of your profits, because right now your profits are at zero and you think, oh my God, I'm gonna give them 10% and it's gonna be easier, I don't have to spend money now. But what ends up happening, if you pay them now, maybe like, I don't know, $20,000, you would save hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future when your company grows, when your product grows. So really think twice before getting a co-founder, before giving somebody shares. I would really work with them first, because I think we worked for almost a year with our CTO before actually making him our co-founder, because we just wanted to make sure he's the right guy, and he's amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video up to the very end, guys. If you like this content, please smash the like button. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel and you want to start a business, then the red button is below, because not subscribing to this channel is another mistake that you're making if you want to start your business. Thank you guys so much. I will see you very soon in my next videos. Bye bye.